Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first session with Meagan Harmon. She is the City Council member for Santa Barbara, specifically the 6th District. This district covers the large portion of downtown Santa Barbara, and she has a toddler and has been living in Santa Barbara for quite a while. And she's going to tell you a little bit about sort of the path to reopening or kind of what the status is with COVID and business today in Santa Barbara. So take it away, Meagan.
Thank you, Cameron, and thank you so much for the invitation to be here, speak with all of you. Thank you, Santa Barbara Startup Circle, for convening this group. I'll talk a little bit more about this during my comments, but there's never been a more important time for committed, creative folks to come together and sort of re-envision what our future is going to look like. So I thank all of you so much, organizers and participants. I'm going to start today by just sort of setting the stage a little bit in terms of what we're dealing with. Not that I think any of you really need to be reminded. This global pandemic has ushered in a period of such uncertainty and such challenging times for all of us, of course, related to our physical health and to the health of our family members and cherished friends and neighbors. But there's also been really significant economic impacts, as you all know very well. We are looking here at the city of Santa Barbara to quite a significant loss in this fiscal year and the fiscal year to come. At a minimum, we anticipate a loss of about $30 million in revenue. So that is a really significant portion of our budget, and it's going to impact our ability to provide services and some of the things that we have come to really know and love about our city government are going to be challenged. There's also uncertainty, as you all know, about when we're going to be reopening. But what I want to say to all of you, and the message that I really want to communicate, is that it's not all gloom. This, despite the unprecedented challenges, is to me a moment of truly great hope. It's a moment of unlimited potential. With your help, with the help of the folks that are truly out there doing the visionary work for our city, we can re-envision who we are. This is a moment of challenge and burden and anxiety, but it's also a moment to think about where we want ourselves to go and who we want ourselves to be. And though I almost hate to say it, I think there really is a silver lining here. And the silver lining is this opportunity for us to live out our creative values and to think about what matters most to us in Santa Barbara and to think about our values as Santa Barbarans and to put those forward as our new future. And that is an incredible gift in many ways. And I'm so excited to be doing this work with all of you to re-envision what our future is really going to look like. So despite the fact that we're facing some economic and budgetary challenges, the city has really moved forward to try to think of ways to support our whole city. But I'm going to speak specifically about business and what we've been trying to do to both facilitate recovery in the immediate term and to think about how we can support business and an innovative startup culture in our city beyond sort of the immediate urgency of the pandemic. Step one, I think, is a really important piece to point out to all of you. And it's been something that I've heard from small business owners in particular that's been really important to them. And it's the temporary eviction moratorium. And this moratorium applies to commercial tenants as well. So that's why I really want to point it out. And I want to talk about the commercial tenancy space in particular. What this moratorium has done has really sort of just pressed pause. It's allowed both commercial tenants, and that's often small business owners here in the city of Santa Barbara, and their commercial landlords to come to the table and to talk about how they can work together to preserve a future that works for their business, that works for their neighborhood, that works for our whole community. This has been a really important step, and I think that it's really been something that we have put in place to try to ease the burden that are being faced by both, frankly, both commercial tenants and commercial landlords, to give them the space to do that negotiation. So that was sort of the Band-Aid, right? I mean, that's how we think about it. But then there's the longer term question. How are we going to facilitate reopening? And again, I want to acknowledge that the city is not in charge of making the decision about when we reopen. That task really is left with the governor and with our county officials. We're working very closely with them, and I have every confidence that they are hearing our concerns, that they're taking it in and working to make the best decision for our city to preserve our economy while also fundamentally protecting our public health. So at the city, we've taken it upon ourselves to set the stage, to really try to facilitate a renewed, creative reopening whenever that reopening happens. So what does that look like? Our mayor, Kathy Murillo, has instituted a business advisory task force. This task force is made up of a number of members of the community, business owners, property owners, various stakeholders, and they meet together regularly to brainstorm and come up with different ideas, creative solutions to some of the challenges that have been plaguing business, frankly, since long before the pandemic, but have only been heightened and exacerbated by some of the challenges that we're facing now. One of the key things that has come out of this task force is the idea to reopen portions of State Street and maybe some other areas to pedestrians only. We don't like to say close down State Street, because what we're doing is envisioning an open State Street that will allow restaurants to set tables even on the street, for example, so the tables can be sufficiently social distanced. And people can walk up and down the street without fear of coming in too close of contact, can patronize restaurants, can go with their family and really just get back out into the community, but do it in a really, really safe, but also fun and engaging and creative way. So this is something I'm very, very excited about. It's something that our community's been talking about for, I mean, time immemorial, frankly. But there really is a lot of excitement about this idea, and there's a willingness to be nimble about new creative use of space in a way that I haven't seen in our city before. And that's what so invigorates me and excites me about this moment. Everyone is coming to the table to think about what can we do to facilitate creative, successful business engagement during this pandemic phase and far beyond. So I will open this up to questions, but before I do, I really just want to say to all of you again how much I appreciate your engagement. We ask a lot of our entrepreneurs. We ask a lot of our business owners in this city. And those of us that are in city government are so grateful for your willingness to continue to engage. We are so grateful that you haven't given up on our city. I haven't given up on our city. And I know in my heart that our Santa Barbara ethos will get us through this moment, and we will get to a future that's brighter, more sustainable, more vibrant than ever before. I really believe that. And what you all are doing here today is a huge part of that. So I was just asked a question about how often we meet with city, county, and state officials. So generally, communication goes through the mayor, as it should. Mayor Murillo is in very, very close contact with officials at the county level, and they are in contact with the state. So we as a council meet almost weekly. Right now, we're doing our budget, so we actually meet many, many times a week. I really would encourage all of you who are interested to tune into those meetings. That's where you will hear what some of the changes we're going to be making in light of this new economic circumstance we find ourselves in. But if the public is interested in participating in any of these meetings, it's absolutely encouraged that you do so. The Business Advisory Task Force here at the city is a public meeting. The videos are online. If you Google City of Santa Barbara Business Advisory Task Force, you can find more information there. Our weekly meetings, as well as the county, weekly meetings, are open meetings and subject to the Brown Act. So anyone can write in, can call in with their comments. And I have to say, you know, for me, one of the most heartening parts of this experience has been seeing how many people have so many amazing ideas for our city and how many people are so deeply engaged with its future. So I would encourage you all to please continue to do that. Please do reach out to us at any time. You know, we do rely on you. And that is why I'm saying we ask a lot of you, but we are so grateful for your input. And that input, the input of our creative entrepreneurs, the input of our business owners, that is going to guide the future that we build. And so this is one of those moments where it really is an all hands on deck opportunity. And to the extent that we can get all hands on deck, I think we will be so much better for it in the city of Santa Barbara. And we're lucky here, luckier than in many, many other cities, because we have such an incredible, incredible brain trust here. And I'm grateful for it, grateful for all of you. And despite, you know, this being a really challenging time, I hope what you will take away from this is that I am hopeful, that the city of Santa Barbara is hopeful, and that your city council is resolute. We know the challenges that are ahead, but we will face them, our community will face them, and we will come out the other side of this stronger than ever before. So I appreciate all of you being here. If anyone has any more questions, please feel free to ask them. I also should say, actually, if anyone is interested in communicating directly with me, you can send me an email, mharmon@santabarbaraca.gov, or you can also go to the City of Santa Barbara website, and there's a button to click where you can send one message to all of our city council members. And that's an awesome way for you to communicate with us. And I have to tell you, the coolest thing about local government is that it actually makes a huge difference when we hear from you. You know, a lot of people say, oh, my senator, he doesn't even, or she doesn't even read my letter. Maybe that's true, but here on the Santa Barbara City Council, the communication that we receive from all of you, particularly right now about the ideas for our city's future, those communications are so important to us, and they really guide and help shape our thinking, and they're what are guiding and shaping the future of this city. So I would ask, please email us anytime if you have questions, concerns. Never hesitate to reach out. We are here to serve you, our neighbors, and to facilitate your good work. So please, again, just go to the City of Santa Barbara's website. You can click on the Mayor and Council button, and there will be a form that you can send, which will send the message to everybody in the city. And then, of course, you can feel free to reach out to me anytime. And I very much look forward to meeting all of you and to your contributions. And I hope you have an enlightening day today.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Megan. Really do appreciate you hopping in and shedding in some insight on all this incredibly invaluable information. So thanks again. And now we're going to move on to our next session. By the way, everybody, all these sessions will be recorded. So feel free to check them out after if you want to go back and see some information. But we're going to move on. Thanks again, Megan. And we will stay in touch. Appreciate it.
Cheers. Have a good day, everybody.